Yo, Natsu here. Back again for part 8, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, it is part 8. In the last part, I think it was around... Well, he spent a few days moving around before finding the apples, before falling in a coma, quote-unquote, for 2 days. And then I passed 3 months of time. 3 or 4 months. Pretty sure it was supposed to be 4, but I said 3. So I'm going to go with what my script was supposed to say, so 4. Where Deku basically trained mostly the control of his nanomachines. Found that only 5 humans were in the part of the kingdom that he was in, where he sent nanomachines to scan, as well as finding a few other things. With the most important one is that he finally knows that everything that people here call magic is just science, pushed to an absolute limit, to the point that even genes themselves has been modified specifically to be more powerful. And people who can actually use magic... Oh, there's a cat. Sorry. It's following me. Anyway. Basically, he understood what the reason for the hair was. Basically, the more your body is naturally able to, link with the nanomachines that are in the air, the stronger you might get. Basically, if someone actually forcefully take in nanomachines and that their body are able to take in the amount and modify their body with that, they can become of a stronger species. So from uncommon to common, all the way to being able to go to, high, which are just pure white hair. He's cute. Sorry, bulldogs. They're cute. But yeah, basically Deku understood now that, the only reason his body would be seen as weak, anyone from his world would be seen as weak, since humans, like normal pure humans, don't actually have the natural genes to directly control the nanomachines mentally to do magic the same way as beastmen can, as well as they don't have the ability to naturally boost their body with nanomachines over time in their lives. Where common are basically just above human in terms of that, but still making them like 3 to 4 times stronger than a human who always train, even if they don't train at all. While uncommon can range from being just slightly stronger than a common, basically turning into an uncommon. The uncommons can range from either just above commons or to over 100 times stronger than them. With white hair basically meaning high species, basically having access to, quote unquote, the aptitude for every element, while being also extremely strong, basically when they actually reach a point where their body actually starts to increase in strength naturally from the nanomachines, they can get stronger than, nearly anyone of their own race. Basically, depending on which it is, like cat, bear, dog, wolf, anything like that, they would become from basically on the highest tier of their own race. Well, if you take, let's say, a dragon with common hair, so black hair, and launch it against a high race of, let's say, a cat race, the battle would nearly be equal, simply because dragons are of a higher race already, and just having their genes basically make you extremely hard to kill. Same for other high race species, even if they don't have the high race genes, which is white hair, their bodies and their ability with nanomachines are so strong that it's, well, literally not a contest between different races. They will be on top. Well, nearly all the time. Basically, the reason why the different things that can help someone be stronger depends on their actual race and the color of their hair. So basically, Deku, having modified his body from, well, what he was to literally now, well, he is just massively overpowered in this world, when someone like All Might would be sent to this world and he would already be, well, way stronger than a normal high race, simply because of his own power. Just like Endeavor, who by pure training forcefully became a superhuman in terms of strength, compared to people who have peak physical strength, he would still be able to fight against a common of, well, normal races, since he is superhuman. Basically, just trying to explain why Deku still isn't as strong as All Might, even though now he has white hair. It's more because his body didn't push the strength aspect of his body, but more or less the Nen, magic, and skill aspect of his body. With his DNA basically turning into something that, even if people on Earth wanted to try and see who he is related to, he would basically have zero match even for one or two combination of DNA but basically genes, since his entire DNA line, like literally everything, basically just transformed into something new. He is still counted as human though. It's just that now, sorry about that. I just found a Visa credit card on the ground, and basically just putting it on a table to be more visible for if the person who lost it tries to find it again. Because obviously, it's not fun losing a credit card. Anyway, so let's go back to Deku, who is basically training specifically his nanomachines, as well as trying to raise his parallel mind and thought acceleration. Like, those are the two specific powers he wants to raise right now, which over the course of 4 months, well, as you can probably think, they rose. Specifically, parallel mind actually rose to level 9. Basically from Deku having it active literally 24/7. And on top of that, using each of them with thought acceleration. This one basically caught proficiency so fast that, well, obviously, over the period of 4 months, it wouldn't just raise by 1 or 2 levels. Basically, the only reason it's stuck at 9 right now is because, well, the 10th level, basically once he raises that, it's actually going to transform into something else. Well, no, not transform, more like get another skill as well, which he will be able to keep raising to more level, since basically the way skill works from the magic world where he went, some skills have a cap limit of 5, some of 10, some of 20, and some don't actually have a cap limit. Parallel Mind is one that does have a cap limit at 20. When 20 is reached, well, when 10 is reached, they get another skill with it, which actually allows each of the Parallel Minds to think, well, times 2, 2 times 3, times 4, depending on the level. Basically, if you know, I'm a spider, so what? Basically, it's kind of like the skill that she gets before getting Parallel Mind, which is Parallel Thought, basically allowing her to think of multiple things at once, while still only having her own mind. In the world Deku went to get, well, Parallel Mind, you can get Parallel Thought in 2 different ways. Thinking of multiple things at once, which can give you that, and if you raise it to level 10, which is the max on this one, you can get Parallel Mind. But if you get Parallel Mind first, you can unlock Parallel Thought by getting it to level 10. And then if you reach level 20 with that skill, you unlock something else, which Deku will get at one point, but it's in the far future, kind of. Because the moment you reach level 10 on Parallel Mind, yeah, even if you use it constantly, it takes an entire year just to level it up once again. So, yeah, Deku's going to basically be able to reach the end of this one before leaving back to his world. But after that, well, before he starts UA, since he won't actually go too much in the other worlds after that, except in the magic world just to try and fix the dimension magic wall. Basically every pieces of the wall are on the ground, and what he's thinking of doing is literally fixing the wall itself by putting back every pieces in the right spots to actually see the entire thing, which will take a while. And basically that's the reason it's going to be over a period of 4 years for his own world, though he's only going to go there in 1 month's interval for when it's in that world, at about every 4 months in his world. So it's taking a while simply because he's taking his time. And also, just the size of the wall, if you want to understand why it's going to take that much, is, well, nearly a square of 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. Basically, the room he was in is actually so big that you could literally fit an entire city into it quite easily. The entire population of a city into it quite easily, not the city itself. Basically, it's made in a six-sided part, with each wall basically being 1 kilometer long, with between each wall a circular piece that basically separates them with around 100 meters of distance. Basically, the thing is so big that, yeah, it's literally counted in kilometers. So the wall Deku is looking at, that literally fell into pieces that are just big enough for him to hold in his hand, basically to fix that wall, it will take him a very long time. Like, no joke. So basically, yeah, Deku's skill is now, well, if we count his own mind, he has 10 different minds in his own head, and in about 6 months before it actually levels up again for him, then he's also going to have each of those minds be able to think 2 things at once. Then 3, then 4, then 5, up to 11, which is the level cap of 10 for parallel thought. Now for his accelerated thought, he's also quite high, though it's only level 8, so he can turn 1 second into 8. The moment this one reaches level 10, it's the level cap, and it will evolve into something that basically every level for that one, basically accelerated, sorry about that, accelerated thinking, basically the level above, and above that one is another one, which is just extreme thought, or extremely accelerated thought, depending on which one I will go with. So basically it starts as accelerated thought, accelerated thinking, and then extremely accelerated thinking, which accelerated thought is actually per level 10 seconds. The other one next after that is 100 per level. So basically right now, once he reaches the other one, he's going to be able to compress 10 seconds in 1 second, and after that an entire 100. So basically by level 6 of accelerated thought, he's going to be able to cram an entire minute in a second. And after that, well, you can guess that at 6th level of the last one, extreme accelerated thought, yeah, at level 6, it's basically he crams an entire hour in a second. Though this one will only come, like, way the fuck later. You have no idea how far I planned that one. Oh, shit, I forgot to ask Onizerg for help for who to put, well, for who to give One for All. I'll also need to explain to him everything I changed about All Might and One for All itself. Oh, fuck, I hope I have enough time tonight, because tomorrow is a school day. Woo! Fuck. Sorry. Though it's only a 4-day week, with the last day being a break, so yay! I hate this. Okay, so let's go back to Deku for real this time. Because, yeah, I'm having trouble concentrating on one thing. You know what? I'm going to sit down for a while. You know what, guys? I'm going to try and make this video a lot longer than usual. So, hope you like this. Because I should be a bit further in the story already. Just from always forgetting to actually say everything. Basically, right now, Deku is, well, he has his own little house, which basically from the person he bought it from, basically he wants to be able at one point to move it away or copy it in his own little dimension when he gets to it. Good thing is that if he tells the landlord that he's going away for, well, a few days, few weeks, few months, if something happens, well, luckily the owner won't throw him out. Which, basically the reason I say that Deku would take it away or / copy it is because, well, once his own little dimension is fixed, well, made, he literally wants to create, well, his own little dimension with everything else inside to get stronger, with his house in the middle of a place where it would be perfectly safe from everything. so that he can just come back in and be there already. So, for now, Deku's basically just getting ready in the morning for the next quest. Basically, going for a harder one this time. Basically, in 4 months, he passed from the lowest rank, which is E, all the way to rank B. Basically, just seeing him transform and eating the entire apple, people thought that, oh, everyone who is, well, an abnormality, which is being born with black hair, but then later in life, starting a slow process of becoming, well, getting white hair, which compared to our world is not like just aging, it's literally something special. That is basically, oh yeah, their genes are made to be able to, well, their genes are mixed, basically. So, they start black-haired and weak, well, stronger than a white-hair-born, since high races, when they are born, have a lot less strength than any other races. Well, uncommon or common, simply because of how their body needs to adapt to the overly high amount of nanomachines inside of them. Basically, them having too much and nearly constantly changing their genes over a 10 years period, while not actually allowing them to think, well, to control any other nanomachines. Basically, the reason why races are stronger is because they unconsciously control those nanomachines to make them stronger, as well as having genes that are already stronger. But while you are born with white hair, because of the huge amount of nanomachines, you're not able to control them mentally, like either forcefully or even unconsciously, because there's already too much inside of you. So your mind needs to adapt until you're able to control them, and then control more that are outside of you. If you understand what I mean. So yeah, for Deku it was basically an arduous process, though thanks to having already multiple minds, the huge increase in nanomachines in his body basically didn't change a thing, and thanks to him already having control over Nen and magic, he was basically able to kind of force the nanomachines into a certain direction, as well as his brainwaves was basically already interacting with them, just them not trying to obey him totally yet, like doing what he wants a bit, but not every single nanomachines in the area just kind of doing, okay, we're listening to him. But now, Deku can literally take some B-class quests easily, from having, well, only trained nanomachines. Basically, he uses it to create more powerful weapons while using Nen. Basically, using Nen to create the weapon, reinforcing it with magic and nanomachines, then giving it different attributes thanks to the magic itself. Basically, he tried to train different elements without the aid of other normal magic caster, and basically learned fire, ice, as well as, well, a bit more earth, plant, and wind attributes. He also has more light attribute now, but yeah, it's kind of limited since he never actually copied someone using them. Basically, everything that he trains for himself, he can do it. It's just he needs the actual method to do it. Basically, for his light, he needed to think of something like, oh, to create a ray that actually heats up something, think of a magnifying glass while also thinking of putting light into a single space before actually sending it through that glass. Basically, that's how he needs to think for nearly everything until he's able to basically control them without thinking of that. Which, thanks to him having his body basically go through the process of being able to use skills from the magic system, well, yeah, now it's a lot easier to learn and control this stuff. So he's happy about that. Basically, he just kind of always go, like, every day he goes look at quests. If he doesn't find some that are extremely hard, he just takes an easy one, well, quote unquote easy one for him, that wouldn't take long, basically does it in 1 or 2 days, comes back, goes to his house to sleep one night, go back out, and basically do that again until he finds stronger quests that can take him longer, and basically that's his entire process. While at the same time training his nanomachines, obviously. Oh yeah, also, before I forget, in his bracelet that he upgraded with nanomachines, he can now also see a section called nanomachines. Which, the thing he can do with those is just body enhancement, using them to create specific things, as well as collecting information with them. Basically, since they are able to enter someone's body without them being noticed, and then scanning the DNA itself, yeah, it can do a lot. Hell, if he wanted to, he could literally kill nearly everyone in a world where nanomachines aren't there, just by making his nanomachine go and cut, cut basically a tiny, minuscule portion of these, well, at the top of the, at the bottom of the cerebral cortex. Basically cutting the connection to the body completely, and basically making the heart and everything stop working, basically killing someone near instantly. Though their brain will work for a while longer, but yeah, it's just prolonged suffering. But yeah, basically this time Deku finally found a quest that requested him to go hunt a dragon on another continent. Basically the first time he's actually going to leave said continent. Basically over the 4 months he learned that where he is in the city, the city he's in right now is around 3,000 kilometers from the ocean, which anyone would say, damn, that's long, but Deku can literally go before eating the apple, he could pass 300 kilometers in, less than an hour, because of training he did. In 1 hour, he could probably go 375, 380 kilometers away. Now, after eating the apple, with his strength being double, and also now being able to boost his wings with one more thing, also, during the 4 months, he did train even more to use magic and Nen in his wings, and is now able to control it. And he can add nanomachines on top of that, which is actually the reason why he's able to now. Basically, the nanomachines are able to kind of conduct the two in a better way than just Deku's own flesh. Though he can do it without them, it's still a better way of using them, and it's even stronger, basically boosting his speed by about 3 more times. which is huge. Basically, passing from 3,080 kilometers, then doubling to 760, and now times 3. Basically, nobody can run away from him. And that entire thing can be done in less than 2 hours. So taking that quest is perfect for him. Literally. Though what he didn't anticipate is that he is told to not fly between continents when he actually reach that place. Deku say he can reach one fast enough, with people telling him that water dragons and sky dragons, as well as some light dragons, actually fly above those places. If you're in a boat specially made specifically with dragon scales, which hide your presence from water dragons, you won't be attacked by them. But if you're in the air, sky and wind and light dragons will attack you. Deku was thinking he might just be able to pass right through them anyway, but was forced to take a boat because, he was seen by a few coast guards, and basically they told him that, if you want to do that, we'll put your head on a list saying that you disobeyed the law, because communication with some of those dragons basically made us give them legally access to the sky, and basically unless you are given the permission from both the dragons and the king, well, mostly the dragons, basically if the dragons give you the permission, the king, that is basically, the king from next to the ocean, will directly accept, because obviously the dragons who are master of that place are telling you it's okay. But basically Deku went on the boat, which will take an entire month to get to the next continent. They have enough food for 4 months in the boat, for over 300 passengers, when not even 200 are on board. So basically think the 4 months rations are for way longer, basically. Basically, after about a week of travel, something happens, which isn't nice for anyone. A water dragon actually decided to attack. People being afraid, running all around. Deku hearing someone screaming for her egg, knowing that some races, example harpies and other things like that, can actually have eggs instead of just straight up babies at first. He thought it was something like that happening, basically ran around until he got outside to try and find an egg, and basically saw the dragon and hearing that. And finally realizing that it's not the same language as what the other passengers are talking. Basically making him think that, oh shit, I've been looking for an egg for no reason. Basically, some people were trying to attack the dragon. Deku basically jumped out in front of them. The Coast Guard, one Coast Guard that basically went on the boat, basically because he's not really a Coast Guard, it's more like a guy that works on this specific boat, that when the boat is stopped at one place, he basically acts like one, basically stopping people who just want to fly over the ocean. Basically, saw Deku just jump in front, trying to tell him to run back, and suddenly Deku just kind of screaming, and literally sounding like a dragon roar, "We don't have your stupid egg!" Basically, everyone just saw this adventurer jump out and suddenly roar at this in the same tone as a dragon would. The dragon just being startled, first of all, and saying that no, Beastman's took it. It has to be on a boat. With Deku saying that they just arrived on the ocean a week ago. They couldn't be around here and he would be able to smell it. The dragon just telling him that no, they have to have it. It smells like another water dragon on this boat. With Deku saying every boat smells like them. They are specifically made to pass like another dragon, specifically so that water dragons won't bother us. The dragon still being relentless, with Deku saying that if the dragon doesn't calm down, he's going to beat her himself. Basically, the people hearing, literally a conversation between a humanoid beastman and a little dragon, were just asking themselves, what the fuck is going on? Basically, nobody attacking simply because, the guy is literally talking with the dragon. If everything can be avoided, it would be preferable. And they actually stopped another adventurer from trying to attack while Deku was talking to him, to the dragon. Specifically because the guy was just thinking of the Dragon Slayer title, which would raise his rank easily. Which is bad of thinking that. Basically, the dragon laughed at Deku, saying that no more mere beastmen could stop him, with Deku just activating Nen and magic. He didn't use them beforehand in his wings, and basically just boosted himself at such speed towards the dragon, and basically punched it right on the face, basically pushing it away. Basically, for everyone, it just nearly looked like teleportation. The dragon didn't even see what happened. Deku then just screamed at it back again, once again in dragon language. I told you already we don't have your egg. If you want me to help you find it, I'll be happy to do so. But let the boat pass. Basically, the dragon saying that nobody could find her egg except her. She is the only one who knows the scent. With Deku just kind of raising his hand, and everyone just seeing something kind of forms around in it. They basically just say, it's magic, he's controlling magic. What's he gonna do? Basically, what he's doing is forcefully expelling from his own body his own nanomachines that are boosted with both Nen and magic, and basically throws some in the ocean, while the rest are basically scattered all around in like mere seconds. Basically saying that now he's going to help her find it. Basically, her asking what he just did with all that magic, with him saying, told it to go look for an egg. With her saying that won't be as easy as he thinks. With him saying that, oh no, it's going to be fast. Basically, just then saying that the boat will go now, because there's no egg on the boat. The dragon finally accepting it because it knows that if Deku truly wanted it, he could most likely grab her and basically just bring her somewhere else, letting the boat pass anyway. So basically he turns back around, telling that the boat can continue, but he's going to have to stay here for a bit. The guy that had told Deku already that he couldn't fly above the ocean told him that he should come on the boat, with Deku saying that if he truly wanted to, he could get back to the mainland in a few hours. A few hours. with then adding that anyway, the dragon's looking for an egg. And basically, he better stay here until it's found, because if not, every other boat will probably get attacked anyway. Basically, forcing the people on the boat to go. And basically, the guy telling Deku that, you know you're going to get reprimanded, right? With Deku saying, if it truly wants to, nobody will even see him get to another continent. He's going to be way too fast. Basically, just the guy saying that it's your funerals, and basically tells the captain of the boat that they can keep going. Until Deku finds the egg, which basically only takes him 2 hours. He basically keeps company to the dragon, which the dragon really doesn't like, complaining most of the time that her egg is most likely going away, until Deku basically just tells her that he actually found it now. The dragon just looking at him suspiciously and asking where, with Deku pointing in a totally other direction from any land close, and basically says a boat with 8 people on it in that direction. It looks like the captain's human and holding the egg into his own chambers as if it was his own treasure, saying that he's going to get a pet dragon when it actually opens. The dragon just asks tells Deku this is all just bullshit, with Deku saying a specific amount of kilometers, and tells her he's going there, and that if she wants to come, well, she can get there in a few hours. Basically just telling her that for her to go as fast as possible, because he knows she could probably get there in less than 30 minutes. Well, he can get there in about 2 or 3. Basically telling her to try and catch up, and basically he blasts off in that direction. The dragon then starts following, and basically on the boat, which they are basically just pirates, quote unquote, they're actually a group of adventurers who on every guild that they went to and that are connected to each other are basically known as the Red Group. Basically, the adventurers can't kick them out because they have no proof that they killed, pillaged, or did anything bad, but everyone know they did, just can't prove it. So basically they know that a lot of things are shady, try to restrict some of their access, but aren't able to actually throw them out. Well, that's going to change soon because they won't actually be alive anymore. Basically, Deku gets to the boat and actually sees that the entire boat is coated with different dragon scales. Basically sensing, having the scent of dragons on the entire boat, hiding even the presence of, any beastmans. Though he can still feel the presence of 1 human and 7 beastmans. Basically, he goes straight down while everyone is inside and lands on the boat with a big crash, basically moving the entire boat, making the captain and his group come out. Then just seeing Deku having his white hair and purple wings and tail out, with the guy just screaming at him to get off his boat. It's not a plaything. Deku then just asks a simple question. Are you sorry? Which the human tells him to fuck off. He has nothing to be sorry about. Then Deku just tells him, what do you think dragons do when their eggs are stolen? with a few of the group members basically kind of being a bit, well, it looks like they're a bit shy, though they're not shy, they're just kind of thinking, does he know what's going to happen? With the human basically telling him that they did nothing wrong, with then Deku just saying, well, from what I understood, you took a dragon egg, then left the area, leaving any other boat that passed through the area where the egg came from to die. Well, to be destroyed, with any passenger to die. The captain looked at Deku weirdly and just asked him, who the fuck are you? With Deku just saying, B-rank adventurer, and doesn't say anything else. One of the members basically just starts laughing, saying that their captain's A rank, as well as, well, most of them. Deku then says, yeah, I can see that, but would you be able to take a herd of dragons? With some of the, well, people saying, what do you mean? With Deku saying that any water dragon who hears that another dragon's egg was stolen will follow them to try and find it back. And that 30 minutes from where they are, well, for the speed of normal water dragons, the mother started coming here about 5 minutes ago. With every other dragons that saw her coming, probably coming as well. The captain just said, yeah, right. If a dragon could talk, it would be hilarious. With Deku just kind of looking up in the sky, using his super heightened vision, which, if you look at just his skill, is basically just increased vision, level 4, which is actually the increased version of another thing, which is just vision. Basically, the higher that is, the better you see. Supervision is basically above that, so yeah, think of it just as him being able to see a few kilometers away, even if he's looking straight at the sun. Yeah, he basically sees dragons in the air and basically goes to dragon language and screams a water dragon egg was stolen and is on this ship. Can you help? Basically screaming it out so high, like, so, outfully, I don't have another word for it. Basically screamed it so loudly, finally found the word, sorry about that. Basically that even the mother who was coming basically heard it, as well as the few water dragons that were with her. Basically, while they were underwater, other dragons around, underwater and above the sky, basically all heard that and were like, well, let's go check that out. With basically the shipments trying to attack Deku, him just kind of flying above the water, basically jumping away, and basically a few dragons arriving, basically asking who said that, with Deku just looking at them and saying in dragon language that he's sorry for calling them. And basically explained that another water dragon was about to attack a ship that he was on because her egg was stolen by those guys. The egg is in one of the rooms, basically pointing exactly the room where the egg is, with the captain just freaking out saying, how do you know it's there? Basically, the dragons are able to understand the common speech, they just aren't able to talk it. So what they heard was basically just the guy saying that yes, he has the egg. All of the dragons just kind of looking at Deku weirdly and asking how he knows their language. Deku just saying, I can learn fast. Basically then saying that the mother is, well, on her way. Basically explaining that for the speed of a water dragon she was 30 minutes away. And that it's been almost 10 minutes, so as long as he can get the egg back to her, everything should be okay. And then basically saying that those guys can be killed, nothing is, well, to be a problem about it. Oh, c'est pas ça qui me dérange, c'est juste... C'est juste que je sais que les petits chiens ou les chiens qui sont pas encore complètement grandis ont parfois peur de ma taille. Fait que j'étais comme, est-ce qu'elle va être correcte? Sorry about that. Yeah, a German Shepherd, well, very young German Shepherd, was basically just kind of sniffing me, and the moment I moved, it just ran away. Anyway, basically, the dragons just said that they understand what's going on, and actually find it interesting that Deku is ready to do this. Any normal human who would be able to actually outspeed dragons would most likely not even try to ask their permission to go above water and just stay in the boats. Deku just said that, well, if he was able to meet a dragon beforehand, he would have probably just asked about if he could. One of the light dragons just laughed his head off and just said that, well, they're going to destroy the boat now. Basically the boat not being able to go anywhere, and their spells, literally, well, quote-unquote spells, not doing, well, anything. Like, trying to hurt Deku, which the thing literally dematerialized before hitting Deku from, well, Deku just having his nan making sure that anything with nanomachines that are specifically targeted toward him with evil intent basically gets destroyed around 50 centimeters from his body. So a great distance away when it comes to things that are about as big as a cell. Like, there's zero chance of him even being hurt by those. Like, even someone who had nanomachines inside of him and boosted his own body with them, those nanomachines inside of his body would disappear. Yes, there would still be the normal strength going with it. Oh god, I need to wait a lot longer than that since I said I wanted to try and make it longer. But yeah, basically, for Deku, sorry about this. For Deku, basically, no people who use nanomachines can actually hurt him with them, unless he doesn't actually tries to use them against him, which then they're just still there, boosting naturally the body and not being destroyed. But yeah, not a lot of people would think like that. And even then, subconsciously, since nearly everyone who has nanomachines inside of them, even if they don't know about it, uses them. So yeah, basically it's a lot of trouble for nearly everyone who tries to hurt Deku. Basically, dragons have the same kind of things, but instead of destroying the nanomachines, it kind of just turns them off for, well, the command of attacking them. So the nanomachines just kind of like, oh, we don't know what to do, disperse. So yeah, basically when that was said, they basically just told Deku, well, the light dragon just told Deku that if he's able to get the egg before they actually are able to sink the ship, he's going to give him permission. Deku asking if it's truly okay, with another dragon basically just saying that, well, being the king of the light dragons, he pretty much has the right to do that. Basically making Deku just think, oh, well, that's neat. And basically just said, give me a second, and basically blast through the entire ship, coming out the other side with the egg in his hand, and coming back towards where the dragons were. Basically, the dragons just saying, so you could have taken them out without us. With Deku just saying, yeah, but I prefer a dragon do that. Kills them since, well, obviously, they did steal the egg of a dragon. Basically, the dragons deciding to say, yeah, true. And the Light Dragon, Light Dragon King, basically told the other dragon to destroy the ship, but keep the man on it alive, so that the mother of the egg can actually take her revenge herself. And basically, it didn't even take 5 minutes for them to basically be down. And then wait until the water dragon came back, arrived with a few more, basically seeing Deku there talking with the Light Dragon King, and seeing Deku's egg, Deku holding the egg, while the 8 people who stole the egg were basically just, forcefully, floating because of Deku putting them on ice. Like, literally. A small iceberg that she created, and basically keeping them there inside of an ice cage. Basically, Deku seeing the dragon, and basically asking if that's her egg, with the dragon saying that yes it is. Basically, most of the dragons that followed that water dragon basically saw the Light Dragon King and asked how he was, and that it's been a while since they saw a Dragon King. The Dragon King just saying that, oh, it's fine. He had just heard the call of another dragon saying that a stolen egg was, on the boats, and came down with a few other dragons to find this boy. Deku just kind of saying that he wanted the dragons to take revenge instead of him, so he just called some people, some dragons. With the mother dragon basically just saying that, this is impressive. With the Light Dragon King basically saying that there's also something he would like everyone to pass the message from. Basically that the boy named Izuku Midora basically telling everyone to magically take a metal image as well as a scent from him to pass on to every other dragon they meet, for them to basically know that this guy can fly as much as he wants. There's no need to stop him or get close to him. And if he calls for help, go see what it is. Basically, every dragon accepting that, since they won't refuse a Dragon King. The one is skeptical, saying that, is it okay for a human, basically asking directly human, not me just saying, classing everything in that same category, basically asking if human is okay to be trusted. Deku just asking, wait, I'm not, with the Dragon King just saying that, from his scent alone, they can pretty much tell he's different, so unless he's human, they don't know what he is. Basically, Deku just saying, so you don't have any resentment towards human? With some of the dragons saying that, they don't like them. per se, but they basically just see them as any other living being. An annoyance when they actually try to be. Basically making Deku say, oh, yeah, I can understand that much. With then the Dragon King saying that he was ready to let an entire boat of people pass, then wait for a few hours just to find an egg, and then instead of just saying the direction, actually went towards said egg to try and rescue it. So yeah, he could probably be trusted. Basically, the Dragon King telling Deku that, yeah, now he can pretty much fly, just to pass on the message to the king, taking one of his scales, giving it to Deku, saying that this is basically the pass, basically show it to the two kings of both places, or any other continents he goes to, and basically it should be registered afterward that he can go anytime he wants. Then the king just saying that even if it's 1,000 years later, Deku should still be able to go. Basically saying it as a joke, Deku taking it as a joke, but later the two actually finding out that, yeah, no, it's not going to pass as a joke. Since, yeah, Deku can live for, well, nearly infinitely. But, yeah. Even worse in their world, since he only ages from 2 days in an entire year, with his aging already slowed down in itself. Basically, he's going to look like 13 years old when going to UA. So yeah, pretty much good for him. Yeah, 13 years old. Sorry. At 20, he will look 15, and basically, the longer it goes on, the less he's going to actually seem to age. But yeah. Basically, Deku then flies directly towards the next continent, actually meeting back up with the ship, which didn't actually go far enough. Basically landing on the ship, the guy who had told him not to go, basically seeing him and going to see him, asking if he's okay, with a few other people going towards him, with Deku then showing the scale and saying that, yeah, but now he's actually going to fly to the mainland. With, well, most of the Coast Guards who are told that if someone arrives with one of those scales, basically just let them pass, it's basically fine. So, all of those who know about the scale were basically freaking out a bit right there. And asking if Deku is truly serious about being able to do that. With Deku just saying that, yeah, and that he's going now. That he just wanted to get one thing before leaving. Going into his room and just grabbing a book he had started to read, that he actually left, well, in his room. So, basically grabbing that before leaving. So, basically arriving way earlier to the other continent, people seeing him arrive and basically land, going towards him asking if he has a permission. And Deku just showing the scale, basically saying that, well, I have it now, I didn't have it earlier, because normally then you show it to King, which basically stamps either your guild card, or, well, either just do, he can do two things. If you don't have a guild card, or that you're not in a guild, he just gives you a badge that you put on your clothes that shows that you're okay to do so. If you have a guild card, he gives you both the badge and you have a stamp on your card, basically saying that you can do it. So basically people who don't recognize the badge, which basically Deku will need to get one for each and every single continent, which did annoy him when he heard of that. But anyway, basically Deku just kind of now has the right to do so. Also, dragons see, well, even if Deku decide to kill a dragon, that'd be water dragon, sky dragon, light dragon, fire dragon, whatever which kind, well, yes, some will be a bit annoyed, but basically they won't take revenge on human if a human kills a dragon. Basically seeing it as, power of the fittest. Though if someone starts to go on a killing spree, killing many dragons for no reason, unless they basically get shown that, I have a quest from a guild, or basically was asked by a king to do so. Basically, if they don't have one of those reasons, or basically dragons attacking somewhere and someone is killing them, which is another good reason. If there's zero reason for someone killing like 10 to 20 dragons, they will start to get mad and go to attack them. But if someone kills a dragon nearly every time they pass because the dragons are attacking him, or even if it's just like, selling material, since normally someone won't fly above the ocean every day, so they don't really care as much, though Deku won't actually do that, but he will kill a few of them. Basically, they are kind of okay with it. Some dragons might see it as, bad, like, the parents of a dragon just want to take their revenge. By dragon standard, it's also seen as okay if the dragon was young. But if the dragon is over 50 years old, if the parent gets mad, the other dragons just see it as something stupid, because at this point the dragon should be an S-class monster. So if someone kills it, water, sky, and light dragon more specifically, earth dragons only have, because of how tough they are to kill, basically every dragon could be classed as S-class monsters, but it doesn't mean it takes an S-class to actually kill a dragon. Basically, it's more because, even if they are S-class, their strength can vary a bit. In fact, some A-class monster can kill some S-class monsters in this world. Like, normally in other worlds that I create or that I follow, ranks basically means it's impossible to kill a rank above you unless there's specific conditions that are extremely hard to get that are met. But in this one, the rank of a monster is actually depending on their race and age, kind of. So, mostly just their race, and basically if they are a young one or a adult one. Basically, dragons are supposed to be S-class when adults, A-class when young, and basically B-class when babies. So, yeah. But you can pretty much guess that, they're still hard to kill. But Deku, who is B rank in the Adventurers Guild, actually has a strength closer to an, low S rank, basically just passed the test. So, for him, killing a dragon can be done. Actually, I'm just talking about his strength. And yes, All Might would be able to kill a dragon easily. Because Deku's strength isn't his, most powerful thing. Though, even if he goes all out fighting, All Might would be hard right now. Simply because of every factor taken in count. even the change in All Mights that I made. So, yes, All Might could kill them. Sorry if I sound rude or angry, it's just that I know that some people would just think, oh, but All Might wouldn't be that strong. Yes, he can be right now that strong. Mostly because of how I shaped the entire world for this what if. Anyway, so basically Deku arrived and got his badge, as well as the stamp on his guild card, then went to hunt the dragon he had to hunt, which is the thing that took him the longest time, finding the stupid dragon. Because what was placed as the quest was literally to find a specific dragon, which was an earth-fire mix dragon, basically having reddish-brown scales, which has one of its back leg missing, as well as one of his eyes cut. Basically not like having a massive scar over one eye. That dragon has been terrorizing a few villages, and basically that quest was sent throughout, well, most of the continent, like at every guild there was. Basically everyone try to come and get rid of this fucking dragon, we have enough. Because S ranks are rare. Only around 1,000 of them in the world. Double S are even rarer, only having around 400, which you could say is high, but think of it like this. White hairs are basically the ones who populates the entire S rank, and SS rank and triple S rank, with many of them actually A rank as well. Basically uncommon and high races, so basically those that have more hairs mostly on the white side are basically those that are all around B all the way to the max rank of triple S, with none of the other species except for races that are already strong who have black hair basically meeting the requirement for the rest. So basically in B and A rank you could easily find many dragons and their beastmen of that type, that ranking type, in B and A rank easily, even if they have black hair. If they have white hair, then you can see them pretty much populating the entire S, triple S, and double S rank. With like only around 10 or 20 of them having the hairs of uncommon races. Basically, black hair has no affinity with any elements, while white hair has high affinity with every elements, and then the rest are basically depending on their hair color completely. And now they basically just see Deku rising fast, but still not being too high either. Though a few S rank had basically started to get their eye on this kid because of how fast he rose, as well as how he was able to eat an entire emerald apple and survive the ordeal, with basically having 8 hours of suffering, then 2 days of sleep, and then just started doing quests again. Basically just making all of the people who heard of that think of this kid, because he literally now looks like a 9-year-old, since everyone understands it as that, him regressing in age because of how much he ate, while still being from a lower race, basically a devil is, well, they're strong, but they're not demons. Let's just say it like that. In fact, they are called a lower race of imps. So basically, imps are even stronger than them. And devil basically being like right above those of races like cat, dogs, wolves, and stuff like that, which are normal animal. Basically, they're beastmen who have the powers of normal animals. Then you have, depending on their race itself, just kind of ranks that are basically the same as normal monsters. So yeah, devils are right above those, imps above those, two other ranks above that, and then you get to the race with dragons, kitsunes, and other things in the likes for beastmen. Which is a very large leap, if you think about it. Though purpled wings devils are thought to be of, well, higher than imp races, simply because they're seen as mixed breed. And Deku, who has white hair on top of that, since mixed breeds are stronger than their two, well, normal races, though having a lot more trouble controlling their powers. But now, Deku also having white hair basically make him, well, stand out way too much. With people hearing that, oh yeah, a 20-something-year-old devil basically turned into a 9-year-old looking devil with purple wings while having white hair now. Basically just kind of looking as, well, something that is extremely strong because of the white hair, but also even more because of having purple wings. Basically, purple wings devils are from a mix of a normal devil and of a higher race from ranks just under dragons and such. So basically, when it's able to make a half-breed or mixed breed, you get a purple winged devil or something else depending on what happens or what race basically mixed with that devil. So they just see Deku as something that has a lot of trouble existing in the first place, a mixed breed, since there's like only a 10% chance of this happening, with white hairs, which mixed breeds have a 0.001% chance of getting, even if both of their parents had white hair. Then the better surprise was that, oh yeah, he might have actually have been an abnormal. So, being someone who goes from having black hair until 25, well, around 25, where they suddenly start going through, well, from black all the way to white in a few years. Basically just thinking that, oh shit, he was a mixed breed, first of all. Basically because, well, they saw that, oh yeah, now his wings are purple. So he was from two parents of different races, which is false. And then that the apple not only made him grow super strong, it also forcefully unlocked his white hair in a gruesome 8 hours of time, which that's what they think, when it was way longer for Deku. With a lot more pain. But yeah, basically Deku took around, well, nearly a month actually just finding the stupid dragon that he was looking for. Since the continent he went to is pretty big. Actually, it's bigger than the one he came from. And the dragon basically happened to be found at the entire opposite of the entire continent, basically making Deku just feel even worse. Also, I think I didn't say it, but the total time that it took Deku from basically where the boat was about 18 hours of travel while flying at max speed. Which, yes, is huge, but think of it like this. He needed to pass an entire ocean. Actually, one of the largest oceans was between those two continents, and he had to pass through them. Which was why it was an entire month of travel. So, I'm going to stop here, because literally you can hear it. Anyway, Natsu, out.